There's names and others all over the. No, I like the little blobs. I like to use them.
Well, these look somewhat similar. Maybe, I don't know, it's Dave's birthday coming up and I.
Oh, I think that's a great idea.
Hi, I'm Rich Landreth, Director of Lincoln County Library.
Unless.
I'm welcoming you today to Class Musing with Judy Kwong. Before class began, take a couple moments to thank the following supporters. First, the Lincoln County Library System and facilitators across the county. Thank you very, very much for this. Second, I'd like to thank the Kimmer Senior Center for letting us invade the space. You guys are great. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the Lincoln County Library Foundation for providing the monetary support so that we can provide these programs to you all. At any time, if you have a question, please contact your facilitator.
So you need to choose.
And now, let's view some class.
Which one you want to
Enjoy.
Okay.
I'll tell you what else you can do.
Now you have audio. Okay, thanks, Wendy, for that opportunity to practice. Now we have audio, and welcome everybody to class number 4, where we get to glue everything together. And I would like to also thank Richard for giving us the announcement to use before every class. I'm going to go through our supplies that we're going to use today, and then a brief overview of what we're going to do with those supplies before we actually begin gluing. So our first and main ingredient today is a little tube of E6000 glue. Now don't open it until we're ready, because these can squirt out everywhere. And everybody, I'll show you how to make a little paper wand if you don't have a toothpick or some kind of tool, but we're gonna use that with the E6000. Everybody should have a little scrap of paper. Here we have old paint sample, pieces of paint samples, but if y'all would like, you can just rip off a corner of any piece of scrap paper, and that'll be just as good. What else do we have? We have our glass cabochons. And some of you have earrings and the pendant sizes. And to go with those, we have the larger bales for the pendants. I think yours is even larger. And then the smaller itty bitty bales for the earrings. And then we have the little French hooks. There we go. To put through those bales for the earrings. You also have your glass votive, and you should also have a candle that goes with that. I'm missing my candle, Wendy. I'll get it later. No, it's just gonna fall out when I'm showing you what to do with it. And you have your fused glass votive panel that you made. And I think that's it on the supplies. Did I miss anything? Okay, so were all the locations able to round up some toothpicks, or do I need to show you how to make a little paper wand?
Paper wand.
Okay. So this is the little paper wand that I made. And how I did that was, I just started with a little bitty piece of paper and just start at any corner, just rolling, trying to keep one end a little pointy and kind of flattening it out like that. And that's gonna be strong enough to work with this glue. Sorry. I'm floating out of the frame. Is everybody good with that? If I could get a thumbs up?
Two thumbs up, waiting on Star Valley. Yep, we're good.
Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about E6000 in case you have not worked with it before. After we open the lid, and we'll go through how to do that too, you'll put a little bit of dab on your paper. It doesn't start getting tacky until about 2 minutes after you let it flow out of the tube. So it's not like super glue or Gorilla Glue. You have a little bit of time, so nobody panic. Yeah. It'll be fine. So after 2 minutes, it starts becoming tacky, and it takes about 10 minutes for what you're gluing together to stick enough that it doesn't just move easily or come off.
How much would we squeeze out?
The question was, how much will we squeeze out? And when we get ready, I'll show you, but it's just going to be probably the size of a bale to start with, because you can always squeeze more. And then put the lid back on as soon as you do that, because it just, once it starts flowing, it's like a siphon, it doesn't stop. Okay, we need to make sure that the surfaces we're gluing are clean. I think they're pretty clean, but you might want to get a paper towel. Oh, I forgot to put that on the supply list. So if everybody can please grab a paper towel or a Kleenex or something in case it gets a little messy.
Oh, do you want a wet wipe or a dry wipe?
Dry, please. And if it gets super messy, fingernail polish remover, acetone will cut through it, but I'm not anticipating getting that messy today. Now, if you look up the instructions, it says to roughen the two objects that are going to be glued together. But if you will notice, the bale already has a pattern, an etched pattern. It's hard for me to get that to show up, but you should have one right in front of you. And also the back of the glass, because we had it on the fire paper, it's not glassy smooth. It still has a little bit of texture. So we are not going to use a file or diamond pad or anything like that today to roughen it up. It's already roughened up enough for what we're doing. When I'm ready, and I have a few things I want to do here with you. I will take the lid off and put just a little dab on my paper. I'm gonna stray from my written instructions. So I'll take a little dab. And also you need to know exactly where you're gonna place your bail. And it can be, you can have it off-centered, on a corner. You can be creative with it. And feel free to even turn your cabochon over because you might like the back better than the front. There are no solid rules here. So what I'm gonna do, I don't have any glue yet, but I'm gonna put a little bit where my my bail is gonna go. And I'm also gonna dab a little bit and put it right on that bail. Not too much though, because if you press it together and it flows out, that's just a mess to clean up later. It happens sometimes. And if it does happen, it's better to let it set up a little bit. Don't try to wipe it when it is still that wet stage because it'll just go everywhere and cause a bigger mess. So you just leave it be. Leave it be for a little while and then you can scrape it off. And also, if it's just beginning to tack up and you got a little bead out there, do not grab it and start pulling. It'll be very elastic. And if it's not set up properly yet, you're gonna pull every bit. It's like a thread on a sweater, a piece of yarn on a sweater or something. If you start pulling, the whole thing is gonna come out. So just leave it be. All right. So another thing, it's going to take 2 minutes, I've mentioned already, for it to start becoming tacky. And that's when we stick them together. Then after 10 minutes, it should be tacky enough that it's not going to just fall off when you pick it up. It should hold. And then 24 hours to 72 hours is how long it takes it to fully cure. So don't wear them for a few days.
Will we leave them here overnight then, or take them with us tonight?
The question is, will they be left here overnight or will you take them? So the object of today is for you to take everything home. So we're going to get to the gluing just in about 2 seconds, but then as you finish all your projects, the gluing part, put them on your tray and you can carry your tray out to your car and take it home that way. So by the end of class, it should be set up enough that it's just driving home in your car is not going to make it come off.
So we can leave it on the tray and we can take the tray.
Take the tray. Okay, is everybody ready to begin? And I am going to begin with the votive. So everybody gets your beautiful panel that you made. Take the candle out of your glass votive and you might just want to, we've been handling this, so you might just want to give just a little wipe to get fingerprints off. Okay. So when everybody's ready to open up that tube and to actually start, give me a thumbs up, please.
Everybody's good.
Okay, and before we open that tube, because I'm going to glue this one, but I wanted to show you, some people made extras and we don't have enough votives to go around, but it looks really pretty just on a little simple easel.
We haven't made that paper thing yet.
Oh, okay, thank you. We'll make the paper thing.
No, we have.
You've got
We have-
toothpicks.
Oh, okay, so we don't need that, okay.
All right. Another question is the paper thing. Do I need to walk you through making the little paper wand again? All you locations out there? No? Okay. So remember, you can put your extras on display on these little easels and they're just beautiful.
And you can get them at Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby or any place, I think.
Dollar store.
Dollar store has them too. Okay, all different colors. Okay. What I did was I put a little piece of paper inside so you can better see where I'm gonna put my dots of glue. Now you don't want to put it all over there because the thing is, well, you can't really see there, but it will show, those dots of glue will show through your light colored transparent glass. So the object with these is to be as neat as possible with it. And it's not even necessary to put the two little dots up there, but if you will feel better about that and it's not gonna get in the way of the beauty of your project, and go ahead. But the important part is to do a little stream dots down here at the very base. Not that corner edge, but up here where the glass is going to be against it, right? Where I've got those dots, which is like an 1/8 of an inch away from the very edge.
Did we just put it on the votive or do we put it on the glass?
It goes on both surfaces that are going to stick together. Okay. Everybody follow along. Mine's already been open, but you can see there's a point in the lid, and it's just like any other lid. You take it and put it in the point. I'm gonna go ahead, mine's flowing already, and put a dollop on my paper, and hurry, get that lid back on because it doesn't stop. So while we're letting that get ready for 1 to 2 minutes, because if we try to do it right now, it's just going to be like grease. It's just going to slide and won't stick. So for the same length that I'm going to put it at the edge, I'm also going to put a bead down here along the edge of this glass. So I'll go ahead and start, because after I start putting the bead on, it's still just going to sit here for a minute before I actually put them together. Got a dry piece there. Okay, I got just enough just for this one project. I am going to just hold it up like that and put it on the glass. I'm going to eye that length. Again, it's about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. So I didn't start my timer, but I'm gonna wait about 30 more seconds.
And it's just on this, not on this. We do it on both right now? Did you do it on your other one too?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, in this amount of time, I've done it on the piece of glass at the very bottom and on the votive, the square votive on the bottom. And if you want, put it on these corner dots up there, and you'll have to do the corresponding dots. And you just measure, eyeball it. Okay, so it's been about probably 2 minutes since I opened the tube and started this process. So I'm gonna put them together. And I need to hold them together for a minute because it could have gone just another 30 seconds or so. what I'm doing is I'm pressing with my fingers at the base. I put it down on the surface of the table to make sure the bottom is flush and not going at a cockeye angle. So if you can see how, there we go. So yes, I have it glued on right now. It's not sliding too much, but if I wanted to pull it apart, because all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, I've got an inch on this side and just a little sliver on this side, then I would just pull them apart, because you have about 10 minutes to move things. How's everybody doing with that? All right, I'll give you a few minutes to get that one finished up. So just give us a thumbs up when you're finished gluing your votive onto your beautiful little panel. And if it's not staying on its own, if it's just falling off, then just let the air, take them apart, let the air get to it another 30 seconds or minute, and then try to put them together again, and it should be tackier.
Never be top heavy. Or the top stuff.
I know, that's why I'm holding it, because it was.
Coco's ready. Acton's still working. They're still holding and stuff.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, once you get your little candle in there, and you can get it even a weightier candle if you're. It's not.
Since I have it flat, should I turn it to its side, Judy? And lay like, oh, it's definitely not.
Okay, just, I'll count a minute for you.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, let the air get to it. Ada, we're having troubles with one being tacky.
Had it like this. Judy, we have a question while we're waiting on the tacking setup.
Yes.
Do you know of any place locally to buy glass for the microwave firing?
Not locally. The question is, do I know of a local place to buy glass for the microwave firing, or any firing for that matter? And there is no place. That's why I drove to Portland, Oregon. Sometimes Michael's, if they're fusing microwave kilns in stock, they might sell a little package that goes with it, but I haven't found that in Idaho Falls at all.
Salt Lake?
I haven't really looked in Salt Lake. There's a art guild down there that says they do glass art, but I haven't met anybody or been to any place down there. Okay, Ada, try to stick them together again.
Could you order them on Amazon?
You can order it on Amazon, and you can get all levels, all prices. You just got to make sure that you don't mix your COE, and it should state the COE when you order that. Is that better, Ada? Is it less slippery?
Yeah, it seems like it. Looks like everyone else is ready.
Okay, did everybody's paper wands work out okay? Okay. Next, let's go to the cabochons. And if you made a pendant, let's start with this one, because the pendants for the cabochon and the bails for the pendants are larger than the little bitty earrings. So let's move to your pendants and your bail.
There are different size pendants for the hanging hooks for the pendants, is that right?
the question was, are there different size pendant bales? There are, but not only all locations have the same. So we have a few sizes here.
Do you think that was kind of what I was getting at?
Yeah.
With this one. I've got 3 here.
The other one. Was it all?
I'm actually going to switch to a bigger bale so you can see that better.
I was gonna say that.
Even though it smells, it's still brown.
I don't know. Can you see? That's dark on dark. Maybe I better stick with them.
When we're doing the caption, do we
Put it on both.
vote, right?
Yes, I am going to begin by squirting some more glue out onto my paper. And I didn't really tell you how much to put. I was just putting enough to be sticky on the votive. I told you not to put too much, but also if you put too little, you need to have just the right amount. Just the right amount.
Oh, it fell off. Oh, no.
Okay, so if anybody else is having the problem of your panel falling off, please just lay it down so that your panel is on the table.
Okay.
And the weight of the votive is going to make it bond. But if it really is slick, it needs some more air to it for another minute. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the pendant. Oh, I was going to use the gold so you can see. So I'm going to put it right here. And on the engraved part of your bale. Yeah, try to get that magic amount, because you don't want to squirt it out and make a mess. I don't have one of those like micrometers, so I can tell you how much I'm putting there, but yes, on the side that's engraved, because that's going to be the side with the pattern on it, because that's going to be the side that sticks to your glass.
It's drying a lot faster here.
And I'm just going to put that bale next to my pendant so I can eyeball where I'm going to put it on my cabochon. So just enough. I'm trying to get the light to shine on so you can see. There, up, there, there. That sort of matches. Huh. I tried to make it match the surface area of the bale. If I, oh,
Oh, I see it.
there we go. So I'm gonna watch my phone for another minute.
I didn't get that. Could
Sorry.
you try again?
I know, it's crazy. That's so funny. I didn't think of it as a tooth until you said it. Now I can think of it as a tooth.
It's sandwich.
And see, yeah, and
Okay.
I can't decide if I want to do it this way, like you, or do I want to do it?
All right, so I'm gonna flip the bale over so that the glue The E6000 is right up against the E6000 that I put on the back of the pendant. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to adjust. Adjust it just a little bit, get it right where I want it.
We have a question. Where did you buy the bales from?
From Amazon. I bought the bales from Amazon. Sometimes I've been able to find them at Michael's, but it's not dependable. There's also, I think there's a website called Fire Mountain that people get a lot of jewelry. If anybody works with jewelry, they will know what I'm talking about. If Fire Mountain isn't it, it's close to that. And they have all kinds of bales and jewelry supplies, jewelry making supplies. Okay, I know you can't see it, but I've got just a little bit that flowed out on the edge. I'm not going to worry with that. I'm just going to leave it just like that. I'm also going to just place it on my tray. Place it on my tray. I'm going to leave the back side that I glued facing up. And then I'm going to put it aside and work on my next one. Any questions? I'm also gonna get my votive out of the way and place it panel down on my tray.
Don't do it.
Just so gravity isn't trying to get it to come off.
Cokeville has a question for you.
Oh, yes. What is the question?
Hey, so on a couple of my pendants, there's a couple of sharp edges. Is that something that can be sanded off, or is it just how it is?
Yeah, well, not sanded, but if you have any kind of metal file, that should nick just that sharpness off.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Was everybody able to hear that since they were on audio? Okay.
Should we start to do our earrings yet?
Yeah. Is everybody ready to move on to the earring, and then whatever extras you've made, you can do those?
Yes.
Okay, now these are a lot tinier.
Yes.
I'm gonna give myself a little bit more glue. And I don't have a earring cabochon, so I'll just, oh, we've got one coming. Oh, thank you.
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay. So here's an earring cabochon, which is going to be the top bit, see?
The lighter blue.
Okay, and there's a little piece of white up there too, or? Okay, like that, can you see?
Well, if the light blue is at the top, that's where it needs to be.
Okay. So we've gotten the direction all figured out. This is going to be the top of the earring. Now, if it'll help you, you can take a Sharpie and just mark where that veil is going to be on the back, if that'll help you. I did not want to do that on the votive because we wouldn't have been able to get the Sharpie off after we glued the piece onto it. So this time you can put a little Sharpie mark right where you're going to put your glue on the back of your earring cabochon. So I've got this little tiny bill in my fingers. And just a little bit right in the middle. Just twirling the toothpick or your little paper wand to get it on such a small space. And I'm just going to put a little bead here on top of that black line. And I'm going to wait a minute because I already had that sitting out for a minute on my paper.
You don't need it.
Yeah, it goes on the
I
loop.
know it.
That's where it's going.
Holy stuff.
Yeah, so if it gets on your fingers, you can rub them together. Like, remember rubber, old-fashioned rubber cement, it'll eventually rub off. If not, you can get some fingernail polish remover when you go home on a paper towel and get it off. Okay, so it's been just right at a minute. This time, because this is so tricky with this little bitty thing, it's facing up, I'm gonna flip the cabochon over. So I get it not on my fingers, but on glass to the bail. And that's lined up pretty good. It looks pretty straight back there. I don't have any coming out from under the edges. I'm going to give it a good press. But I suppose you could put a piece of paper over it and give it a good press. And then readjust it back. Okay, so that looks good to me. Does that look good to you, Betsy? This is yours.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say no to the expert, right? I know.
All right, so now's the time for you to continue on until you've glued all your bails onto your cabochons. And I can answer any questions you might have. Oh, not yet. But I did want to tell you not to put these on yet because we will yank it. We need to wait at least 10 minutes. If I try to put that on now, I'm just going to pull the bail off. So we let it set up so that we won't yank it off. But I can just tell you, we got these French style earring hooks because we do not have to have any of the special jewelry making pliers. That once we put it in, we just squeeze it shut. with our fingers. We'll give you just a few minutes to finish and then we'll show you some photographs.
That's cute. It looks like a little post. Since you said it was deep. Like it's
Tell the girls, I took these teeth out of the, and I melted everything.
Gosh, Paula, was it something I said? Yes.
So after everything is cured for your 72 hours or so, then you can thread one of your favorite chains through the bail. Like I have here, you can use the soft leather cord. This is just cheap, what is this? Chain, thank you. I bought it to hang some of my sun catchers, but I went ahead and just put one of my pendants on it. And you can also use the silk cord.
Or even like a small ribbon.
Yes, a small ribbon would be beautiful.
I think I'm gonna put my sun catcher on one of those easel things, the ones that we made.
Yeah, which brings up another thing. If you made an extra votive and we only have the one glass votive for you, if you have an extra large bale, you could also put that large bale and make a sun catcher.
I was wondering. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
That's actually how a lot of people put hangers on their Christmas ornaments when they make them out of glass. You can do the nichrome hooks like we did, or just finish them off with a pretty veil.
Just chuck it along. Thank you for helping.
So another fun fact about E6000 glue is sometimes they, something, you need to remove a bail or just unglue it. You can stick it in the oven at, I don't know, 400 degrees for 20 minutes and it makes it come apart.
You have one that is not sticking together.
Is it still not sticking together?
Because it's movable.
Oh, it is. Just
Yeah.
leave it.
Do you think
All right.
there's enough in there that it's going to secure it? Or
You want to bring it to me and I'll
Just carry it.
have a look at it.
Sort of in the middle. It's close.
We've got one that doesn't want to set up, so we'll do some troubleshooting here.
It's close. I think it's close. It's close enough.
Okay, it's wiggling.
yeah, it's big.
Nice, neat work.
I think maybe you did not put enough.
Okay,
I would
go back.
go back and put another round on
Okay, do I need to?
and let it
rub
air,
any off?
the air get to it for about 1 minute after you get the beads on. If you want to take a paper towel and rub it off,
I've got one over here.
okay, just start over.
Did you bring that?
All right, now might be a good time to test if your votive is setting up, or let me know if it's just falling off and not setting up yet, and we'll try to do a little troubleshooting for you.
How do you know? You pull on it?
No, how do you know is the question. You know, it's gonna be obvious. It's just, if you try to pick it up and hold it by one or the other, it's just gonna slide off. So if nothing's moving, when you pick it up, you're good to go. But I would still leave it laying your project down and the votive on the back just to get gravity to work on it.
Right, we got it. We've got one, they have one in Star Valley that's coming, it's not speaking, so they're gonna try a second round on it.
Okay.
What did?
Yeah, it's really hard to know how much or how little to use. So you're good. Like I said, it's not like Gorilla Glue or super glue. We can totally undo what we're doing here today. So
Well, I have that big tube at home that I bought for, so I got lots of it.
It is really fun.
That's what it was doing. I think that's something.
Judy, ask them if it's snowing. where
Yes.
they are.
hey, how much is it snowing where all of y'all are?
Can they see? I guess they can't see the window.
Nope, nobody said.
Have y'all gotten inches or feet this time? This is the first time in months that we've just gotten inches and not feet.
Well, is Afton there?
Oh,
Afton.
18 inches.
1.5 feet in Afton.
Woo, boy.
Oh, my God.
1.5 feet in Afton. I hope it melts fast, but not fast enough to flood anybody.
Looks like most people are done with their projects. Maybe?
All right, so now we're gonna start going through some photographs. Every time I loaded the kiln and every time I opened the lid after it completed firing, I took a photograph. So we have those, but first, people were curious, what does the kiln look like when it's really hot? So this is the top lid open. You can see the elements, which is the yellow fiery color. And down at the bottom, it's hard to see, it's hard to see depth. But at the very bottom, there's a project there, and it looks like it's taking up almost the entire bottom shelf of that kiln. So the dark orange, you can see where the arrow is, that's the glass, that's the molten glass. And then the lighter orange surrounding it, those are the dams down a little bit. There you go. Those, you can see those that surrounds. If you want to run the arrow all the way along, it makes a dam with fire bricks and fireproof paper to prevent the glass from flowing too far. I see it really well on this, but it's hard to see up on the screen. So hopefully everybody gets a sense of what we're seeing there. Okay, we can go on. Maybe. Okay, this is my little FuseWorks microwave kiln. I don't know, are they just seeing that one?
Yeah.
Okay, it comes, you don't have to flash to me, you can just leave it.
Sorry.
So it comes with heat-proof gloves, and it will, I got the little starter kit, so mine came with the fireproof paper that we all used under our projects. And I would just cut a piece to fit on that inside circle, put my little pendant there, put the lid on and put it in the microwave. It would take mine about 8 to 10 minutes to get to the full fuse where it all becomes flush and liquid-like. And with those gloves, you can lift that lid up and have a peek and then put it back in. But, and now you can flip it back over here. They may be heat proof, but they're not fireproof.
Oh.
I accidentally laid it on top like that after, and it was still hot in there. I didn't realize it was still hot enough to burn right through my glove. So it gets really hot. You have to be careful. All right, we can go back to the photos. So yeah, there are all kinds of sizes of that microwave kiln, and it'll come with starter packs of glass for you. All right, this is the before on the left and the after on the right of the firing. I don't remember who, but aren't those beautiful?
You have to know your colors.
You really do.
to-
Yeah, that one on the left just, and it's hard to see, but the bits for the center of that flower she used, or they used the irid glass, the dichro glass, and that just came out so beautiful. And on the right, you can see all the cool stir sticks. Oh my gosh. Kemmerer blew me away with all the different designs of their stir sticks. They really were adventurous and tried so many layers, and everything worked out pretty good. And sizes. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, that's nice.
They're both fours.
Yeah, these are both befores. And these are some of the afters. You know, even when,
I'll go back.
no, even though we're working with transparent and opaque glass, the opaque light will still shine through opaque. That's why we see it as a color. So we may not see a pure light image behind it, but light still goes through all glass. Is that it?
Nope.
Oh. Yeah, when I opened up all those stir sticks, when I got the boxes from the different locations, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so creative. I never would have thought to do all that. And some of those are really long. So it got me wondering if people down south like their Long Island iced teas. Those are long enough to stir big glasses of drinks.
Looks like mango.
It does look like a mango. It's really pretty. So simple, but it turned out so pretty.
There you go. There, that's the last one.
Oh, and circles. I was so impressed with the circles that people were cutting. Good for you. Yeah, good for trying that. You did excellent. An excellent job of cutting those circles.
Yeah, I think that's it for the slideshow.
Okay, I think that's all the photographs we have. I would like for everybody to check again to make sure that your votive is setting and not just sliding off.
Thane says, what is the jewelry store that you mentioned? Must have been online.
Oh, I think it's Fire Mountain. Let me do a quick search. firemountaingems.com.
Looks like everybody's looking good on my photos. We're setting up.
Okay, at this time, if anybody wants to come forward and show any of their beautiful work, you can do it now, no pressure.
No takers here.
Leslie has to show that. Oh, this one? Yeah. That is so cool.
Can she just come up here and? All right. Oh, Betsy wants me to show it. Ooh, isn't that beautiful? There you go.
I love the glass on glass.
I do too. I love the glass on the glass too.
I like that. Clear on the clear.
It's kind of like the one that Judy did with the.
Yeah, the spiky.
Very pretty. I know I'm not doing justice to that. I can't get the light to really,
No, because it looks.
but when there's a candle in there, every single one of those lines, even though it's clear glass, the candle's going to reflect, the flame's going to reflect on it.
It's like Afton got a question.
Okay, question from Afton.
It's a technical question.
Yes.
Will a copper enamel kiln that heats to 1375 work with glass?
A copper enameling kiln that heats to 1375 degrees, will it work with glass? I'm going to say you need to look this up, but I think you can do it because enameling is glass. Enamel paints are glass. You can do a Google search on that. You can also call Bullseye Glass, look up their number. But I think there's a way to do like the tack fusing or the slumping.
I looked at that.
Looks like we got another question. Can you fire the enamel powders with this type of glass?
Can you fire the enamel powders with this type of glass? Yes, I believe that all enamels will be fine on glass. If I did a Google search right now, I would find so many different options to use. And I believe I've been in classes where people brought their own enamel powders in and made paints for their glass. So again, please do a Google search on that from a reputable glass source. Or you can experiment and see what happens.
Doesn't look like anyone else is ready to wants to share, so.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna, the last thing, I'm gonna go ahead and you just need to make sure that you get your hook in the right direction. So, let me,
What about over the white?
Yeah, for lights.
all right.
Color?
I have a gray.
Here, I've got it.
Is that better? How about this? Oh,
Maybe.
okay, I think that's better. Okay, so here's the front of the earring. Here's the back of the earring. This little short edge or stem here where the ball is, I'm gonna take it, showing you the wrong way. I'm gonna go in from the back. So there you go. And it's not coming off. I'm gonna wait though until she takes it home and she can just pinch that ball in so they don't fall off.
So the ball goes through the hole.
The ball goes from back to front. Can you see that? Is it?
Maybe. I don't know.
None of it's
All right.
close enough.
Well, you just want to make sure that you're put the hook on in the right direction so that
So then.
the front of your earring is facing out and not your neck. So I'm taking the ball, putting it from the back to the front. And there we go.
Oh, yeah. That's what you said.
I don't try.
Yeah, I'll wait until it dries.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, and feel free to just not put them together yet until you go home and they've set up.
Then I'll walk down the hill.
You can walk down the hill to my house and get me to do it.
Where do you live in? Broken Wheel.
Down the street from Peggy and Ada.
Yep. Oh, that's.
Okay, are there any other questions?
So it was across there. Okay, so I don't know. We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
I can see you there. Let's do that.
So you can handle these tomorrow. You can handle them all you want. It's just that I wouldn't wear them tomorrow yet. I would wait until the next day or the day after that.
Looks like everybody's pretty much done.
So I hope y'all have learned as much as I have, because I've learned a lot teaching y'all and seeing what you have produced and created. So I want to thank all of y'all for signing up and coming to this class.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll keep you tuned when we have
Yeah, Banky's coming in the chat.
future classes. You're welcome, you're welcome.
Will you teach any art classes too, like watercolor or